Hello, friends, and welcome to Bible Study Video 2. We are in the NIV. My name is Amy. I am an ordained minister. We're in the book of Revelations. We will be in the NIV through next year because we have to do the Old Testament and Psalms. The goal this year is to get all of the New Testament videos recorded. And then in 2026, we'll start another version. So, chapter 13. We are doing verse 1, but we are starting at the beast out of the sea, which is partway through verse 1, because it was really verse 1 of chapter 13 is sort of like the end of chapter 12, because they talk about a dragon that stood on the shore of the sea, which is really Satan. Now we're doing that verse, chapter 13, verse 1 through 18. Okay, so that's all of chapter 13 in Revelations here. So it's the beast out of the sea. This is a vision that John the Evangelist had while he was in a penal colony called Patmos, which was a Roman penal colony before he was, under the reign of the Emperor Nero, I believe it is, before he was killed, if I'm not mistaken. The beast out of the sea. And I saw a beast coming out of the sea. He had 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 crowns on his horns. So each one of the horns had a little crown on it. And each had a head, and on each head a blasphemous name. So in the context of John the Evangelist, the Apostle John, that could be anything to do with any one of the hell names, or it could have anything to do with something about, something mean to Jesus. Okay. The beast I saw resembled a leopard. Okay. But it had feet like those of a bear, and a mouth like that of a lion. So I'm guessing it had spots. Leopards and lions, 2 different sizes. Leopards smaller. Now, the lions that were in Jerusalem, smaller than the lions in Africa anyway. Smaller lions. I don't want to meet any size lion out in the wild anyway. Like, I would be unhappy to meet any of those mountain lions that we have here in Arizona that are indeed up there. They can stay up there with their majestic beauty. I'll be happy to watch them on cameras from my safety of my home. The beast that I saw resembled a leopard, but it had feet like a bear and a mouth like a lion. And the dragon gave the beast his power and his throne and great authority. Okay, so for me, when I'm visioning this, because remember these beasts, they're not usually literal. It's a vision. It's a very frequent metaphoric, just like the lampstands are churches and the stars are angels. Right? So, in this vision specifically. So this to me would be like, what family crests have a leopard, what ones have a bear, and what ones have a lion, and who in the noble classes of what country have those things all put together. Like, who is a member of all those different families? Because Satan is going to give that person authority. Somebody who's of that line, whoever that is. On one of the heads of the beast seemed to have a fatal wound, but the fatal wound had been healed. Okay? The whole world was astonished and followed that beast. Okay? Men worshipped the dragon because he had given authority to the beast. And they also worshipped the beast and asked, who is like the beast? Who can make war against him? All right? The beast was given a mouth to utter proud words and blasphemies and to exercise his authority for 42 months. Okay. 42 months is of course multiple years, right? 36 months is 3 years, in case you're keeping track at home. So 3 years and 6 months, okay? He opened his mouth to blaspheme God and to slander his name and his dwelling place and those who live in heaven. He was given power to make war against the saints and to conquer them. So this would be very much like a Roman emperor, because that's who was killing the saints. Again, like Nero. And he was given authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. So it sounds like he was given authority over the whole world. So, okay, all inhabitants of the earth will worship the beast, and all whose names have not been written in the book of life belonging to the Lamb that was slain from the creation of the world. Or written from the creation of the world in the book of life belonging to the Lamb that was slain. Okay? He who has an ear, let him hear. If anyone is to go into captivity he will go. You go where God is decided. If anyone is to be killed, would be, some manuscripts, anyone who kills, with the sword he will be killed. That is true. If you live a life of violence, expect to die violently. If you live a life where you're committing crimes, don't be surprised when you wind up in prison. We reap what we sow by our daily patterns. They are either healthy or unhealthy. This calls for patient endurance and faithfulness on the part of the saints. The beast out of the earth. Verse 11. Then I saw another beast coming out of the earth. He had 2 horns, like a lamb. So little tiny baby. But he spoke like a dragon. Okay. He exercised all the authority of the first beast on his behalf and made the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose fatal wound had been healed. All right? And he performed great and miraculous signs, even causing fire to come down from heaven to earth in full view of men. So, all right. So, like, in these days, you could be talking about long-range missiles, and that would be true. So he had the ability to make war. Because of the signs he was given the power to do on behalf of the first beast, somebody who the president of the entire world is, or the king of the entire world is empowering. He deceived the inhabitants of the earth. Okay? He ordered them to set up an image in honor of the beast who was wounded by the sword and yet lived. He was given the power to give breath to the image of the first beast, so it could speak and cause all who refused to worship the image be killed. Okay? He also forced everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on his right hand or on his forehead, so that no one could buy or sell unless he had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of his name. This calls for wisdom. If anyone has insight, let him calculate the number of the beast, for it is man's number. His number is, of course, 666. So, very much so ominous. There could be any number of things. I'll remind you that in the Jewish culture, which John, the evangelist, very much so came from, it is actually not okay to have tattoos. You're not supposed to have any kind of tattoos. You're not supposed to write on yourself. You're not supposed to have any kind of marks whatsoever. That's, not intentional like that. So, I mean, if you get injured, you get burnt or whatever. I mean, like, that's not going to keep you out of heaven. But they're like, you're not supposed to intentionally, like, mark yourself and do stuff like that. So it sounds like Satan's minions are going to be busy at end days, but then did we really expect any different? They're busy every day.